What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video on the LFG Podcast channel. And as you can see from the screen, we are going to be discussing, reviewing Twisted Metal, the Peacock original, based off the famous PlayStation video game from back in the day. So yeah, fellas, first off, how y'all doing today? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Hey, I'm excited for this one because I was not gonna watch this, but I will say I'm glad I did. So I'm in a good mood right now.
Okay. Well, I'm doing good again in the studio, making another review. I love doing these reviews because we kind of get to talk about it in depth a little bit more than we would on the podcast. So I'm good for that. I'm happy for that. So yeah, Twisted Metal. Let's do it like we did Secret Invasion. Codes wasn't here for Secret Invasion, but a lot of the time what these people are doing is putting their ratings at the end of the video. Let's not do that. Let's put it up in the front. Let's give the people our thoughts or our rating at the beginning, straight from the gate. So, Codes, you want to go first? What do you rate this?
This is a solid 8.
Okay.
Solid 8.
Solid 8. Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'll go next. I did enjoy this a lot more than I thought I was going to enjoy it. Like, I thought I was going to turn it on. It's going to be trash. When I first saw this, it said action comedy. And then I go to click on the show, and all it says is comedy. So I'm like, oh, my God, I don't think I'm going to like this at all. But I watched it, and I was pleasantly surprised. I think I'm at an 8. Yeah, I think I'm with you, Cody. I think I'm at an 8. I'm right there. Jet?
Ooh, Twisted Metal. It's crazy because everyone knows Sweet Tooth, but I actually did play one of the games back in the day. I think I told you it was Twisted Metal Black, and that's all I knew of the series. I didn't know any of the lore. I didn't know nothing. So going into this, it was just blind. I was just watching it, and like you guys, I was pleasantly surprised. And until that final episode, I think I was at an 8. That final episode pushed me to a 9. I am at.
I thought you were going down.
Yeah,
No.
I thought you were going down.
He went up.
Actually, I can see how you can say that, but
yeah, because that was
to
the actual Twisted Metal. Like that was Twisted Metal. That final episode. But go ahead.
I wanted to say, as far as knowing, like playing the games, I didn't play the games. I knew about the games for sure, but I know of Sweet Tooth from Rocket League, so that's why. That's the only reason I know of it. But
that's so crazy.
Going into this, like, I wasn't expecting much, man. I was like, okay, this is probably just gonna be a comedy action, like not a boring one, but just it's all right. But no, I was like, yeah, this is actually something I can tune into. It was very entertaining, very.
Okay, let me start off by that first episode. It starts off with Anthony Mackie, and by the way, I'm not that huge of an Anthony Mackie fan. Like, I remember him as Papa Doc, bro, and that's where he's at for me. Like, he's Papa Doc. That's it. And all the stuff that he's done after, like, I'm not a fan of it. Like, with me and Cody watched the show. What's the one, Cody, on Netflix? Dang, he came in and did the second season.
Yeah, I can't think of the name.
I can't think of the name for the life of me, man. We had such a great bro. Carbon.
Oh yeah,
Altered Carbon. Yeah. That first season was really good for me.
Yeah.
And then season 2 came, and Anthony Mackie was the lead now. And I mean, they explained it the way the universe works, but for me, it just like didn't hit the same at all, bro. So that's where I'm at with Anthony Mackie. I'm not a huge fan of his work, but I think he did solid in this one.
Yeah.
He did really good for me. Just that first episode, I was like, here we go. This is Twisted Metal. Like, he's driving through the mall and stuff like that. Oh, they got a Foot Locker. I was like, bro, come on, man. Like, I didn't like those first few jokes. And then after that, it kind of started picking up for me. Like, the jokes were a little bit funnier. He was actually a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, it started going for me. Then they get right into it on episode 2 with Sweet Tooth. I thought this was gonna be like a later into the season type of thing, and they're gonna hide Sweet Tooth, and he's gonna be the villain, the boss, whatever. But no, like they gave him to us in episode 2, and I liked the way that they did it, bro. Because he was kind of like, it was Anthony Mackie and it was Sweet Tooth. Like, they were going between both of their storylines and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed Sweet Tooth's character. I thought he was funny. I thought he was maniacal. Like, he's crazy. Like, this he's from an asylum, and I loved what he did with the role. Like, it was Samoa Joe as the body of Sweet Tooth, and then I think it was Will Arnett as the voice. And Will Arnett just destroyed it, bro. Like, I enjoyed the voice completely. So overall, I did have fun with this show. Like I said, like, it's an 8, bro. Like, The action sequences were cool. The side storylines on what he had to go do in order to secure his spot inside the city, I thought was like, okay, it's linear.
Yeah,
You get
that's a
it.
pretty good story.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know, he's got an objective. It's not just story to story. He had an objective throughout the show, so I enjoyed that a lot. Um, what's her name from Scream? I forget her name, but she did a phenomenal
Yeah, the
job too.
main
Neve
I
Campbell.
forgot it.
Yeah, she did a phenomenal job. You see her like, hey, John, like this is you can have all of this. She has an apartment, she has a kid, she has a husband. He drives off, and oh, here, take this baby from me. Hey, you did your job. Go ahead and
Yeah.
get out. That
I
was
will
so
say
hilarious.
I was expecting that because when it came in, I was like, "This is just too good to be true. Something's
Yeah.
off about this," and then it clicked. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it was
so-
still good. It was still good.
I did, yeah. So like I said, the storyline, I get it. It was good. The cop, I think he did a phenomenal. I recognize the
Yeah.
actor. Forgive me for not knowing his name, but I recognize the actor. He did a phenomenal job. Like everything throughout the whole season for me was solid. Like it
Yeah,
made
it was
sense.
solid.
It wasn't too crazy. I had a good time watching it. So let me stop my rant. Let me stop my thing. What do you guys think?
As far as everything goes, I mean, I'm on board. First episode, like I said, you get into it pretty early. Like, you know, you start off with the mall scene, and then it goes into the plot of the story and just the milkman. I like everything about it. Like, it's nothing to me as far as that 9 Justin said. I'm not seeing a 9. Maybe when the season 2, this whole overall could go up because but like going through it, like I said, it was solid all the way through. It was nothing that was peaking, but I feel like that 8 was there. It was shining. But like I feel like this is a recommend to watch for people because this was a really good show. It's new. It's different from what we're normally getting nowadays. This is on track of like this, not the boys, like the same, but you know what I mean? We're getting into more gore with our shows, and I feel like I like that turn that we're getting into.
Yeah. Jet, what do you think? Any specific thoughts?
See, I mean, you guys talked about it a lot. We share a lot of the same sentiments as far as like the positives. I thought the cast really interacting with each other did really good. And just some things that pushed it over the edge for me. I thought that they used Sweet Tooth early, and then they were going to get into some other stuff. And I didn't know how they were good because my thing was Sweet, like everyone knows Sweet Tooth. Like, what are you going to do with him? And just for him to have his own like path in the story and the main characters to have theirs, like I loved that.
Yeah.
And so that was really refreshing to see. And then just by the end, I was like through the whole show, I was kind of thinking like Sweet Tooth, like I mean not Sweet Tooth, Twisted Metal for me playing the game is just like a deathmatch type of game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yep.
and like there's like hints of that, but I never really felt like I saw the game and the show as like one thing. It just kind of felt like separate entities just sharing the name Twisted Metal. And then the last episode happened, and they had the big death match and everything,
which was insane.
And so then I thought that was it. And then spoiler alert, at the end there's gonna be a damn tournament. Like I was like, yo, this is crazy. And I mean, man, just there's a lot I want to talk about spoiler wise, because the Neve Campbell from Scream, talking to him and taking him to the house, and then him being like, bro, like I was like, dude, this is like,
she was like, this is your home. No, this is at your home. I was like, whoa.
Well, yeah, let's so there you go. You guys got our ratings right there. We're at, me and Cody are at an 8. Looks like Jet's gonna be at the 9. So we do recommend that you guys watch it. That's just based off of us. I don't know. Have you guys heard any opinions on it? Like the dude that I watched for stuff like that, I didn't click his video yet, but the thumbnail did said it was awful. So I gotta go watch his video and see why he thought it was awful. So, but from us, from here at the LFG podcast, I think we recommend you go watch it. I think it's a fun watch. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So go ahead, Coach. What's up?
I was gonna say, like I said, I knew nothing about it prior besides the game. So maybe there is a lore out there, which is why maybe we're in a situation where we see this as our first time seeing a live action, and they've probably already seen something or known of something, and that's probably why they don't like it. So
maybe it's because it's not a 1-for-1 of the game.
Exactly.
Like season 2, the way it ended, it looks like we're gonna get the game. So as it sits right now, we did enjoy it. 8, 9's coming from us here, so you guys go watch it. If you guys haven't seen it yet, this is the point of the show where we're gonna go ahead and get into the spoilers. We're gonna go ahead and just talk about anything and everything. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, just go watch it. Come back, finish the video. We'll see you guys in the next one. So All right, let's go get into it then, Jet. What do you think?
So one of the cool things for me is once they like unveiled like not everything in his past, but like how he lost his memory. I was like, okay, I can buy that. Like they told him to get the hell out of here. He crashed. He's a kid. He doesn't know how to drive. Hit his head, and then
Mm-hmm.
like it was just believable to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the thing with like my brother. Like I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
that was
god,
Oh,
man.
yeah, that was insane.
Crazy.
So me and Jan know this character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think Jet's seen it a little bit too. Rosa, like when we saw her in the show, I was like, oh, I mean, that's pretty cool. Jan actually started watching. I don't think he's got much through it, but that's what started him to watch the show was Rosa. And I did like the relationship between her and Anthony Mackie. Like that was pretty cool. Like at first they were, enemies, and she tried to jack his car at the beginning, and then her brother ends up dying. Which, by the way, I love that actor too. I watched a show called Mayans, and he's in that show too. His name was Coco. I don't not the character's name. And yeah, like he did a phenomenal job too. Like that dude was awesome. So yeah, then you get that relationship. They get in the car. Sweet Tooth starts chasing them. And you think, okay, dang, somebody's gonna die here. I mean, obviously, I don't think it was gonna be Anthony Mackie, and they were gonna kill Sweet Tooth off, and that's it. But no, so then we get that whole relationship throughout the whole series. Then they end up having love and doing some crazy sex scenes in the ball pit and stuff like that. Then you get more of her backstory with like where she came from, like as a slave, and they're cutting fingers and ears off and stuff like that. Like that was insane. Her backstory. She sees her brother again. They decide to run from that city, and then that's how they end up in the first episode. So I did love that storyline. So then we get to the point where she ends up like John. I think that's his name, right? John. You got to go. Like I'm not letting you lose this opportunity because before we get into that too. What's the goal? Do you get what did he have to get from going from one side of the country to the other and bring it back? What was
ice cream, bro? When I saw that, bro, I said, "There's no fucking way."
I love that. Though.
Yeah, I know. I love that. That was like, yeah, because in their world, bro, like y'all are throwaways. You're just a driver. Go get my ice cream. And she made it seem like it was something so special, bro. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, but the whole time they're keeping it safe and nobody can take this package and stuff. So that was phenomenal for me.
Then it was the wrong flavor.
I love that aspect because it was just a test so that she could make sure she was sending him in the tournament, and she knew that she could like put her chips to the table because she knows that she sent him across the country and he came back and it was like he was going to be on a crazy like journey. So like I don't know, y'all know me. I love Scream. So when I saw her, I was like, ugh.
Keep in mind, she did that with the intention that he wasn't going to make it back. So, like, even with the tournament in mind, she didn't care. I also wanted to point out real quick, I love the fact that we get the beginning with her sending him away, and we know that she has some ulterior motive. And throughout the entire rest of the season, we forget about that kind of like. That's not even the main point anymore. It's mainly what's going on as he's getting there. And we just forget that he's trying to go get something the entire time. And I just love how it came back full circle. And, like, there's just so much going on put into the story.
No, and then going back to your point of, like, she didn't care. Like, they even make it a point, like, there's no more milkman. We're running out of milkman. And she's obviously doing this. She's sending them out and seeing who comes back so that that can be her quote unquote champion for this tournament. So I did love that. Yeah, that was awesome. And it ended up being like Rocky Road, Marshmallow. She didn't even like it. Got my order wrong. So I thought that was cool. And the prize for him doing this was essentially living in the city because they can't do that, right? I think it was like the Audis never go into the innies, and that's it. Like you can never be. So that was his prize to live in the city.
Dude, it was so funny. Because he's like trying to get acclimated to living in the city, and he just can't do it. Like he's just struggling. Yeah, he goes on the date with the chick, and he's just saying like all this awkward shit. Like I don't know, man.
No, yeah, it was good.
Nah, yeah.
Like it goes back to Anthony Mackie. I think he did a great performance for me. Like, he did good. I enjoyed his performance, and he made everything believable. He couldn't ride a bicycle. I thought that was hilarious. All right, man, are you going to cooperate with me? Couldn't ride
you got to keep in mind, like he lost his memory, so he's really just a new person in a new world that is completely different from the old world. So coming back to that, which he has no recollection of, is insane. He played that perfect to me.
Oh, so then also he has this picture, right? This whole time of it's just him. He doesn't know who he is.
Doesn't
He's
even
John
know who his
Doe.
parents are. Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He at the end of it, he's like, "All right, you know what? I'm gonna leave, man. This isn't for me. I gotta go." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, let me show you this." And that's what we were talking about, the house. It was his childhood house where he actually was from. She has way more pictures of her of him and the family and stuff like that. And he's just like, "Wow, this is crazy." And then he's like, I think he ends up saying like, "Nah, I'm still gonna leave, right? Like, this isn't me anymore."
And she says, "All right, go ahead, and put the gun to his
Yeah,
head."
yeah, like, nah, that's it. And then that's when we get the reveal for the tournament. She's like, "No, you're gonna be my driver." And I don't remember how they used they used Twisted Metal, and I forgot how she used it exactly, but she did say Twisted Metal
or something, and then Twisted Metal. Yeah, it was clean. It was clean.
Yeah, it was dope. And then you start seeing the lore of Twisted Metal. I looked it up way before the show came out just to kind of see what was going on. And I forget the guy's name, but the guy that was putting the pictures on the board, he's like a demon or some shit in Twisted Metal lore. He's like a demon, and he's like invincible or some shit like that. And he gets his tournament together, and so he starts putting up all the pictures of all the drivers and stuff. And I'm recognizing the people. There's a guy with the tires for arms and stuff like that, and then. Dollface was at the end too, so I love the whole thing. And then you get the reveal of I call her Rosa because that's where she's from, but she's driving. She ends up getting stopped by Dollface. I was like, oh look, it's Dollface. And then now it's not just Dollface. It's like, hey, I know you know my brother. I heard you know my brother. And I was like, oh my god, it's his sister, bro. Like that was insane.
And that's one thing that's crazy to me because he's been alone for 20 years and she's known that he's out there. That's kind of crazy.
Or is it because like he made a name for himself going cross country and then coming back and doing all these crazy things and fighting against the cops and stuff like that?
But like she said, he goes by John Doe, so she's known the whole time.
Oh, you're right. Maybe. Yeah, that's probably right. Why look for him now, I guess, right?
Exactly. So. I mean, there's obviously a reason. They're going to explain it.
And I got to say, one of the highlights for me, Sweet Tooth was amazing.
Yeah.
Every scene he was in, he was funny, but like menacing at the same time. Like,
meet my parents.
Dude, his backstory was crazy.
It was crazy.
Bro, the backstory was crazy, bro.
When
like,
the dog walked out, bro, I said, "There's no way,
bro." Like TV and movies shy away from this stuff because you can't touch pets. Obviously, they didn't show it, but that's like sacrilegious to do that, bro. To do anything to pets, you can't do that because you'll get canceled, bro. Like pets are untouchable in TV and movies. Nah, Twisted Metal said, nah, look at his backstory. And he was mad at the dog for being a co-star and having more love from the audience than he was.
Crazy.
He ends up going crazy and just murdering this dog. I was like, oh my God, that's insane that they actually did that. Insane. Bro. And then from there, you get his whole story of they put him in an asylum and the whole world went to shit. Why did the world go to shit? Do you guys remember exactly?
I remember they showed the cops flashback and there was a bunch of missiles, or not missiles, but something was crashing down.
I think the planes were crashing down.
Something was crashing and all the technology got like just messed up. Like internet was down.
They said the internet went out and like just technology just went out and that was it. I guess.
I want to say it was a meteor strike though, because it looked like something crazy.
So yeah, so the world went to shit and that's how Sweet Tooth ended up breaking out. What did he say? The first thing he did is like, I'm going to go find my parents. I'm going to bring them over here because this is what they did to me and they're going to be left in here, bro. So, damn, he brings his parents, locks them up, lets them rot, bro. That's, yeah. What else? Sweet Tooth. Oh, we finally get to see his head on fire, bro.
What?
His head. He was like, all right, get ready here. Pour this on me. Okay, I'm like, what the hell? Oh, lighter fluid. Why is he putting lighter fluid on his head? And he's like, all right, when I tell you, it's time. I was like, oh shit, this is how they're going to light his head on fire and make it look like the game. I was like, this is crazy. And when they did it, it didn't look bad, bro. I think, in my opinion, the CGI didn't look that bad. It looked pretty good.
You can nitpick it, but it looked good, man.
Yeah, I was like, damn, well, then obviously he's going to die, right? Like, there's no way unless he's just going to fucking... But, yeah, so he ends up shooting the fucking... Because it was like that whole last sequence was fucking dope. Like, they had the semi... from the convoy, they had the cops, they had Sweet Tooth, they had John, and all these people just started clashing. And you think Sweet Tooth, the convoy, and John are all together fighting the cops because that's who they're enemies. And Sweet Tooth just started shooting missiles, bro, and killed the convoy.
There is no sides.
There's no sides. He's like, yeah, everybody dies. Everybody dies. I might like you, but you're gonna die if you're in my way or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
I want to point out, Sweet Tooth, they didn't confirm if he's alive still because from what we got at the end, he was dead.
Yeah, it looked like he was dead, right? Like
he got shot in the face. He got hit by the car.
He got hit by the car. His mask is off. Like, it's on the
Yeah.
side.
Oh yeah, the mask is off.
The mask is off. We never seen the mask. I think he lifted up once to eat or something, and then
Yeah.
that was it. I mean, I don't think this guy's dead though. There's no way.
Yeah. There's no
There's
way,
no way he's coming back somehow.
bro.
some
If he's
way.
in that tournament, it's over, bro. There's no way.
Bro, his truck, because this whole time too, John's talking about like balancing the car, right? You can't have too much weapons on it because then you lose it. Sweet Tooth don't give a shit about none of that. He's got missiles and machine guns, and it's an ice cream truck, and somehow he's keeping up with everybody. So that shit was awesome.
There wasn't a scene at the end where he takes Stu away.
What do you mean take Stu away?
The S brother, huh? The other guy.
Yeah, like I could have swore the last episode they get away, but then they show Sweet Tooth coming back and he takes Stu away into the woods or something.
Not that I remember. I think the last time we saw Stu was him and his partner, from the way they got introduced, and they're driving off, and that's it. I think that's what I saw last. I could be wrong, unless I missed a scene, end credits or something. But I think that was the last we saw of Sweet Tooth, the shot on the mask, and that was it. So
I'll have to go look at it again. I could be tweaking, but
okay. Well, yeah, if that's a scene, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But
yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, because I heard Twisted Metal, the name, and I didn't know much about it until you told us about it, and then you told us it was a comedy. So, like for me, like I went into it not really, I guess, judging it from the lens of like I would like a drama or like anything like that. Like, yes, I still grade like the plot, the story, like the acting and all that. But it's just me personally, I feel like it's different with comedies, and
Yeah,
so like
you know,
so I was thoroughly entertained the whole way through. I don't remember ever thinking like I'm bored or whatever. So that, but I did see like flaws just a little bit, but like I said, it's a comedy, so like I'm judging it differently, so that's why I was at the 8.
Yeah.
But then the last episode blew me away, so that's why I personally pushed it to a 9. That's my reason.
No, I get that.
Some context.
Because sure. You see them going into that giant parking lot, and you're like, oh yeah, this is Twisted Metal. There it is. They're finally giving it to us on this final episode, and then just to find out that no, this wasn't even Twisted Metal. We got the whole tournament, the whole game for you guys in the next season. I just thought it was a good way to end it and keep us invested in coming back for season 2.
Because even like through some of the episodes, like to me, it kind of had that The Last of Us feel, like that whole kind of 2 episodes where they're helping the people living in the truck and the grandma and she dies and all that. Like it kind of had like side mission Last of Us feel to me. So
yeah,
I was just
And even those, like, they made sense. Like, okay, they needed to do this in order to continue with their quest. Like, I thought it made sense. It was cool. And then they gave us more of the characters, like Granny Mayhem. I think that's her name, Granny Mayhem. She was another character from the video game and stuff. And I forget the blonde too. She's a character from the game too. So I thought that was really cool. But I'm excited.
They went deep into the lore then, huh?
Yeah, for sure. They did, at least on this first few episodes, or this first season. Not too deep, but they gave us characters. Like, I didn't think we were going to see too many Twisted Metal characters. And then, obviously, what they did with the last one, they showed us, get ready, because the next season's going to have everything. So I'm excited for season 2. I'm actually hyped. This was, like I said, this was a pleasant surprise to me.
Evelyn is dead.
Which one was Evelyn?
His car.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that, bro. The whole show, that's his baby. That's his, like, that's who he found and how he survived when he was left behind. He got it to work just by turning the key, because some cannibals were after him, and he was gonna get eaten and stuff. And he's like, "Nah, I'm out of here." And that was his car. He started fixing it up, and that's what we see in the show, Evelyn. So then we get to that episode where they take his car, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the first time they took my car. This is like the 4th or 5th time, but she always comes back to me." And they have the whole episode where they meet the Holy Men. And I thought that was such a fantastic episode, because the leader of the Holy Men, like I said, I'm sorry for not knowing these actors' names. I should have had them off on the side, but that dude is so hilarious. He's in so many comedic performances, whether it's movies and shows. He does a good job, and yeah, he was just phenomenal. Cody, what's the line that he said that you've been saying this whole time?
Shut the fuck up, Krevin.
Shut the fuck up, Krevin. Krevin gets rewarded because I guess he brought him something cool. I can't remember exactly what he did. And he's getting guns and drugs and stuff, and he's like laughing at him because why was he laughing at him? Do you remember? I don't remember why he was laughing. I have
no idea.
I forget why he was laughing at him, but he laughed at the boss. Shut the fuck up, Krevin. Like, yeah, bro. Like, that was hilarious. So then they get to the Anthony Mackie. They're there. He's like, oh, he sees his car. He's like, nah, let's do this. Bro, the guy's about to have sex with his car. And he's like, don't put your hands on her. And that ends up being a whole fight. And he's like, nah, I'll fight you for the car. Winner takes the car. And obviously Anthony, oh, well, not obviously, because I didn't see this coming. But Anthony Mackie gets his ass kicked from the leader because he knows kung fu or some crazy stuff. And yeah, he gets his ass kicked, wins his car, gets locked up in jail. Then his chick pulls him out of the cage. Like, hey, let's go. Let's just get out of here. It's okay. It's a car. She's like, no, I can't leave my car here. So she's like, all right, well, then I'm out of here. Ends up trying to go back for the car. Gasoline gets poured all over, and they end up fighting again. Gasoline gets poured all over the floor. Boom. You see the explosion. The girl starts crying. She thought he's dead. And no, he's actually still alive under the car. He has like this little, I guess, reminiscing, and he's just sitting in the car. It's all blown up. So yeah, that's crazy to me. I didn't think they were going to blow up his car, Evelyn. And yeah, they blew it up.
I gotta say, like we all know people that are like weird about their cars. I think it's all right to name your car, but some people get crazy and they love their car like more than they love another human. And so that in the beginning was just kind of like, it's like, come on, dog. But then when they show the backstory of that, like, you got to think like he's a kid. It's like when he had that traumatic experience of like that car actually coming like alive and saving his life. Like, I understood like him not wanting to leave it behind and all that other stuff. Like, I actually like, it's a kid's warped mind, so like,
it made sense. Like, this is what was his house, what was his shelter, what was his protector. It was everything to him, like his family, everything. It wasn't just a car to him. It was an actual family member to him. So yeah, it made perfect sense to me. And yeah, and they destroyed it. Like, Evelyn's gone. Like, that was crazy. So yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the series. I'm hyped for season 2. You guys got any other final thoughts before we head on out?
That was
anything else you guys want to talk about?
I just love what they did, man. And you see shows that are longer than this, have hour episodes, and some characters don't get as much backstory and explanation as
that's a great
shows
point.
as people got in this show.
That's a great point.
And there's only 20 minutes, 11 episodes, but I feel like maybe they could have explained a little bit more, but that it might even come in season 2. But for what they did, I felt like it was
I think it was actually 10 episodes, and then it was like the 20 to 30 minute format, which me and Jet have said this before on the show or on previous videos. Like, Disney's doing this 6 episode 30 minute format. I guess, is it those 4 episodes that make that big of a difference? Because I guess that's the only difference, right? Like, they had 4 more episodes, and it just felt fleshed out. Like, it felt that we got characters' backstories, we understood them all, like, pretty much. Like, I had no complaints about that, which is crazy. That's a great point. 10 episodes, 20 to 30 minutes in length, and I never felt bored. I never felt rushed. I thought it was great. I thought it was done great. Codes, any final thoughts?
None. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, yeah.
Sweet Tooth is alive, by the way.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, as I said, probably, yeah.
It was an end credit scene.
Oh, I got to go back and watch it then. Dang. Okay. Well, then that's cool. I got something to go watch again then. Cool. Anything else, Jet?
No, man. Just another show to add to the list. Hype for season 2.
Yeah.
They kind of got a lot more to get through in season 2, I feel like, because, I mean, I kind of felt like the whole time, like, from Anthony Mackie's character, like, the past is the past. We just got to keep going forward. Mm-hmm. They brought his sister back into it, so who knows where the rest of his family's at. They got to get through that dynamic of him and his sister, the tournament, him and Quiet getting back together, whatever Sweet Tooth's going to be doing. So.
Sweet Tooth's come back. He's going to be hunting for his S brother. So, yeah, like, dang, like, Anthony Mackie was ready to move on. Like, nah, this was my past. I'm ready to go. Like, I know what I'm doing now, and yeah, and then no, his sister's still in the picture, so he's got to come to terms with that again. But yeah, man, so we gave it 8s, 9s. Great show. Like we said, we recommend you guys go watch it. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts and comments down below on what you guys thought about Twisted Metal. If you've watched it yet, if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. I think you guys might enjoy it. But anyways, we appreciate you guys watching this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.